Hi, welcome to Nourishing Body and Soul, the podcast. Get ready to revitalize your mind, body, and soul. We're here to inspire women who are looking to break free from old patterns and ideas to create a life of increased confidence and improved health. Say goodbye to limiting beliefs and hello to new possibilities. So kick back, get ready to have some fun, and let's dive in. We'll uncover tools and insights that can help you build a life that's truly nourishing, body and soul. Hi, I'm Tracy.
I'm Victoria.
And welcome to the podcast today.
I missed you last week.
Yes. You were there in spirit.
I was there in my pictures.
In all the beautiful pictures, that was you.
When there was your screw in there too.
So you put it together. So anyway, we're back together now in the same place and not outside trying to do something different that doesn't work. I don't know why that was such an epic fail, but it was. Trust me. So today we're going to be calling out diet culture, and I'm just going to spring something on Vic.
Oh, okay.
So
okay,
let me get over to where I want to go here. Oh, okay. So in my in a Facebook group that I belong to, it's a very large group. And it is a group that's very positive. It's full of people who are making positive changes and just really good energy in that group. So in that group, somebody just posted just a red square. It said, if your doctor said you had to lose X number of pounds in 30 days, what would you do? How would you answer that question?
What would I do? And I had to. This isn't like I just heard it and went, meh. No,
it's just that's the question.
I would start exercise, start doing aerobics twice. This is actually rather sad that I could just rattle off exactly what I would do. I would do aerobics like twice a day, and then I would do like a pretty extensive weight program, and then I like resistance, and then I would eat like 800 calories. And that's what I would do. And I would eat no carbs, because my body is one of those bodies. Like if I don't eat any carbs, I can have bacon and eggs and all that kind of stuff. And I can still lose weight, but not if I had to lose that much. So I cut out all carbs, all sugar, all carbs, no bread, nothing, no pasta, nothing. And then I'd work out a ton. And I would also call Marvel, the Marvel division of Disney, and say, send me one of your trainers, because obviously you get people in shape really, really fast. That's what I would do. That actually is what I would do.
Okay. The comment thread on that was very much along the same lines. Like, do this diet, do that diet, do this kind of stuff, but that kind of.
You could cut off your arms.
200 comments in. And I had found nothing but comments like that.
You could cut off your arms or something.
You could.
I mean, theoretically.
Or you could question your doctor.
Oh, that is also an answer?
It's like my initial response when I heard that was, find a new doctor.
Yeah.
Because like any doctor that's going to tell you, you have to lose this number of pounds in this many days.
But it was like 30 pounds, wasn't it?
It just said X number of pounds in 30 days.
So it wasn't like, for some reason I was thinking 30 pounds in 30 days. And I was like, dang, that's going to be a lot.
Well, and it's funny because a lot of people read it like that. And
I did too.
From the comments.
How funny. That is exactly what I thought. I thought it was 30 pounds in 30 days. Which
and
is
so, and most
I might
people,
eat 1,200 calories then.
And that's such a diet culture answer. There was not even, I was the first one who commented
really
something other than exercise like this, eat like this, don't do this, do that. It's like, or because that recognizing that as that's a scare tactic.
Yes. I was scared just thinking of it.
Yeah. And if I have a doctor who's using scare tactics on me, then now maybe some people do respond well to scare tactics. And if that's you and your doctor knows that about you, that's a different thing. But for most people, that's just, I'd be like, I'm sorry. Let's talk about this more. And and if you don't understand that, then it's time for a new doctor.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
so it's like, I was very surprised. And then of all the comments, that comment thread kept going, man, people have advice and opinions about this. No surprise.
Yeah.
There were 3 of us that said
Really?
something other than a response to
That's,
yours.
you know, that's like one of those logic puzzles that they put up and they're like, here, how many boxes are in this or
Mhm.
whatever.
Mhm.
And you count the regular, you forget about the extra boxes that are the boxes. Like, it's
Yeah.
like an outside the. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. It's like an alternative way of thinking. Yeah, that's like the puzzle, and then you figured it out. The
Yeah.
puzzle is ignore that. Just go
Ask
on.
more questions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't imagine my doctor doing that.
Yeah, but you did have a doctor who, when you were very, very ill,
Oh, yeah.
body wasn't
Well,
keeping
that-
anything down, his response was, well, you're losing weight.
I was thinking about that today because I listened to this podcast on this woman who writes for the New Yorker, who's been doing all this research on Ozempic.
Mhm.
So I was listening to the podcast of that, and I was reminded of that doctor who I was really, really sick and I was losing weight and I couldn't keep anything down at all. I was just really sick. And I went to the doctor and he was like, but you're losing weight. And I said, but I am throwing up. If I eat anything with fat or anything, I'm just like throwing up. And he's like, but you're losing weight. So yeah. So that was a problem that wasn't diagnosed till several years later, actually.
Yeah.
So anyway,
So, yeah, diet culture is alive and well.
yeah, it was interesting this discussion because what she was talking about too was she was talking to people who grew up outside the US too, so that was interesting.
Mhm.
Was that, you know, we all started moving towards what we thought is a body positivity place. And this like Ozempic is just like, because or the variants of, you know,
Mhm.
people in Hollywood are just, I guess, taking it like crazy. And so that's what we're seeing. And so all of a sudden, like the pendulum swings back.
Yeah.
It was, she said there was a Harvard study that was done 10 years apart, and it was like implicit and explicit biases in in like hiring or money that you get, you know, salary, all kinds of things. All kinds of things. And they said all the metrics of like race and gender and all ethnicity, all that kind of stuff. All of those went down. The bias went down for that, except for weight, which shot up. So yeah, like we're not there.
No, we're not. I had an interesting conversation recently, speaking to a woman who is slender and always has been. And she made the comment of, yeah, well, I've never struggled with diet culture. I haven't really been impacted by diet culture. Because it's just, my weight's just never been an issue for me. And I'm thinking in the back of my mind, oh, but you have, but how do I bring this up, you know, without unnecessarily confrontational? And in
what
the
did
same,
you say?
I said nothing
Oh,
at
okay.
that point,
Mhm.
but then she, like, right on the heels of that, she
Mhm.
starts talking about how her son, who is 10 or 11, wants to lose weight and what she's doing to help him.
Mhm.
And I'm like, that's diet culture.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the thing. It's like, weight is what people associate with diet culture.
Mhm.
But that's not all of it. I mean, it's a big part, but it's
Yeah.
not all of it.
No,
It's
it's the standard of beauty
Right.
and
it's the
you know,
attitude toward it, whether
Yeah.
you're struggling with it or not. It's like, she has never been on a diet in her life. So in her mind, I haven't been affected by diet
Yeah.
culture. But
diet
no,
culture too kind of is like a catch-all for like and I know we went to the movie, but the skinny Barbie type, you know, like that is the culture of beauty in this country.
Mhm.
Like thin, long leg, big boobs, blonde hair. That's the goal. I mean, obviously we don't all reach that goal because one, we're not plastic. Most of us. Some
have more plastic than others, but-
somewhere.
Yeah, just even if we go, no, you know, I'm not gonna do that. It's
Mhm.
still there as an ideal
Mhm.
that it's like when you're a parent, when you're a child
Mhm.
and your parent says, you may not da 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 da.
Mhm.
And you're like, well, then I'm going to da 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 da.
Mhm.
And you think I'm making my own choice, but
Yeah.
really they still have the power because the only reason you're doing it is because they
Mhm.
said not to.
Yeah.
And so the same kind of thing happens with diet culture
Mhm.
and beauty culture. It's like when we actively just, you know,
Yeah.
but it's like, there's a difference between that and just really stepping away and not
Mhm.
giving it power
Yeah.
and just go, you know what, you can think what you want. You can
Mhm.
do what you want. Thank you. I'm not participating in that
Yeah.
game.
Well, it's funny, the two other people that she was talking with, she was American, but one was South African.
Mhm.
It was a guy that was South African, and it was another woman who was Nigerian. She
Mhm.
grew up in the UK, but her family's from Nigeria.
Mhm.
And they were talking about how like super skinny. Like he said, we had a lot of derogatory names for people who were super skinny.
Mhm.
You know, like he went through some of them. And he said, because you were poor, growing up in the townships, we're poor. And to have, I mean, I guess in my mind, I knew that like from back in the 1700s or
Mhm.
something. I'm not saying that South Africa's in the 1700s by any stretch, but I'm just saying I guess I just didn't realize that it was still, for when he grew up.
Yeah.
He said it's changing because we're so awesome as a country that we're like,
Influencing everybody.
yeah,
in that way.
influence everybody. You know, that's also not an anti. I'm not. Yeah, don't
No,
don't
okay.
report me to McCarthy here. Not like a red.
No,
Like in the red in the.
no.
Never mind.
There.
I'm just gonna get out of that. But she was talking about how they and he was also talking about that if they see somebody who got married and they see him and he's skinny, they're like, aren't you happy in your marriage? Like, isn't she feeding you? Like, you must not be doing well,
Mhm.
or you would be better.
Plump,
Yeah.
yeah.
And he said when he comes back from the United States to visit, they're like, oh, look at your cheeks. Oh, you're so
Mhm.
cute. Oh, look, you're doing so well there.
Yeah.
Because that she was saying too that before, I don't know if this is still, but it seemed like relatively recently they have what's called the fat tent before women get married, and they go into this, like, I don't know if they go into a tent. I don't think it's like a legit tent, but she said they go in there until they're fat and they eat yams and carbs and a whole bunches of things to fatten up
Huh.
before they get married, which is the exact opposite of
Exact
what we do.
opposite.
Exact opposite, but still about the body and still about
Yeah.
who we are.
Yeah.
Because of what we look like on the outside. So
Yeah.
anyway, I probably offended like 800 people there. Sorry, don't make this a clip. I don't want to get roasted.
Oh, where's the fun in that? But just all to say,
Mhm.
just keeping a vigilant eye out for diet culture and beauty culture,
Yes.
and recognize that it really is, it's so entrenched in so many places and in so many ways in our medical system, and it's so many places.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
nourish your body and your soul
Mhm.
by noticing that.
Yes. And that your soul takes precedence over your body,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Did I just
Yeah.
offend anybody else?
Well, they can be offended if they want to. I'm standing behind that one.
Okay, good on me.
It's like ideally having balance between the two. If you're only going to have one that you're focused on, the soul.
Yes, my soul
But-
needs work.
As do all of ours. The only person whose soul didn't need work was Jesus, and we're not him.
That's
So
That's so true. So true. I'm very far from Jesus. Or not. No,
close,
no.
close to him, far from being as good as he is.
Yes, yeah. Is there anybody else I can offend in this?
I don't know. Maybe we should keep going.
No. No.
Stay tuned next week to see who else Nick can offend.
Yeah. Cheers.
The fun continues. See you next time.
Bye.
Hey, if you want to help us grow this podcast that we're having fun doing, like and subscribe.
And comment.
Oh, yes.
Please comment. We will comment back.
Yes, we will.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's Tracy. If this was helpful and you'd like more, follow me on Instagram at tlastel.nourishingbodyandsoul, or on Facebook or YouTube at Nourishing Body and Soul, or you can find my website at nourishingbodysoul.com. Thanks for tuning in to Nourishing Body and Soul, the podcast. Before we wrap up, we just want to remind you that the information we share in this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only and is not intended for medical advice. While we hope you find our discussions helpful, we strongly recommend that you seek the advice of a qualified healthcare provider before making any changes to your diet, exercise routine, or any other aspect of your health. We also want to make it clear that the host, guests, and producers of this podcast are not responsible for any adverse effects or consequences that may result from the use of any information or suggestion discussed in this podcast. We care about your well-being, but we can't take responsibility for individual outcomes. By listening to this podcast, you agree to indemnify and hold harmless the host, guests, and producers of this podcast from and against any and all claims, damages, liabilities, costs, and expenses arising from your use of the information provided in this podcast. We're so grateful for your support, and we hope you keep listening and learning with us. Thanks.